my friends, and welcome to Busch Gardens, Williamsburg for their Howl-O-Scream event. It's the first time I'm here, and I've heard some kind of negative things about it, mainly that it's crowded and the food lines are pretty long. Right at 6 o'clock, their main character, I don't know if it's a mascot or who this guy is, but Jack, or Jack of the Lantern of Irish lore, I believe. And it started out, you know, pretty sinister, and then quickly took a turn into like family-friendly, like disco and stuff. I was completely not expecting that. It was cool, you know, it had a lot of fun energy, but not what I was expecting for a haunted event compared to the Howl-O-Scream, say, in Orlando, where it seems pretty sinister and scary throughout. So the upbeatness came as a complete surprise to me. The little area that it was in was also terribly crowded. They only do this show twice a night, and that's something that I've noticed with all the shows. There might be 1 or 2 performances throughout the evening during the event, which surprises me, but I also did notice on the app there are show times throughout the day. So with the schedule that they have, it's going to be tough to see all the shows, I think, and because of how spread out this park is, going from one place to another, it's going to be tough as well. So I invite you to come along to my first experience here at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Howl-O-Scream. So it was a mad dash to get out of that Irish festival area, funneling everybody through that little arch, and then to make our way over here to the Killarney Diner, which I've had my eye on ever since I did my research for this trip. Ooh, I think the posted wait time was very inaccurate because I think everybody right after the Jack is Back show came in line for this.
I'm hungry!
That's no pie, honey!
Here, make sure you give a good side. Oh, you want to come in for dinner? Hey, where are you going?
That way?
Just getting out of the Killarney Diner, and I see Jack was doing a meet and greet. Bummer that I just missed him there. But I think now that it's getting darker, a lot of the stuff I've been told I should wait until nightfall. So I believe there is a showing of Monster Stomp back up at the front of the park that we can catch first. I noticed this guy hanging through all the fence, and everybody's been giving him pets and stuff. What's going on, dude? How's your night going? You're awfully close to the speaker. Do you like getting spooked? Or are you just vibing? Oh, there he goes. Looks like they're getting called in here at the front of the park, and yeah, it's looking spectacular. Look at that fog off in the distance. And I hear the sounds. I don't see any scare actors, though. Oh, I see one. So I wonder what this is going to be like once, you know, last light is already done. But right here is the entrance to Monster Stop Ripper Row. Where is the... That's roped off. I need to go around. I've been told I cannot take video during the show here, unlike down at SeaWorld, so I will see you after the show. I don't think I'm getting any other color than blue here in Ripper Row. So we can start with Monster Stomp. I did forget to talk about Killarney Diner, so we'll come back to that. But Monster Stomp, the audio to me was sounding kind of tinny, and in a lot of places overpowered by all the live percussion that happens. So overall, like, that brought me out of the experience, which was unfortunate. The knife stuff on the coffin or casket is always really cool. But using the SeaWorld one as a basis of comparison, I guess I expected more dance numbers in a sense, or more choreography, but here there seemed to be more of a theatrical side to it. And it was all right. Don't regret watching it, but I think that it looks like it needed more polish or something like that as a whole. Going back to Killarney Diner, I thought the flow was kind of weird. I don't know. It was fun, and it looked great in the videos when I was doing prep for this trip. But then, like, going from bright room to dark room to bright room to dark room kind of threw me off, especially because my eyes are still adjusting to the night. It should be better now, that, you know, the sun has finally gone down. Really enjoyed it. All of the scare actors seemed like they were having a great time. The only thing that I really could nitpick it on is there was a couple of those really loud, like when the wood window drops, and I don't know why this is such a thing in haunts now, that it just makes the worst noise. It's not scary or anything. It's actually just painful. But anyway, here we are in Ripper Row, and I'm excited to kind of stroll around and take you along with me.
This is what.
So we've now transported all the way over to France, and here's the next scare zone. It's called Dead Ahead. So that was a kind of really small scare zone, but still pretty effective, but it only covered like that little area from the train tracks up until like the Griffin store. Next up here is Meat Market. And now we are green. All right, so I went through Meat Market and it was kind of low energy. It had a cool look. There were like, I feel like the energy level was just like up and down, tough with the lighting. It's really dark to tell, so like you can't tell who's a scare actor or not. But anyway, going over the bridge was really funny. The one that leads you to Alpengeist, because just guests were like yelling and hooting at each other, and it was pretty funny. One thing I wish I had grabbed a clip of was the line to get into Smoker's Trap House. It was like wrapped around, you know, there's indoors and then the outside one that goes around the building, and then it was still sticking out after that. Wow. Yeah, it's no joke the amount of lines we're seeing, because I think a lot of other food locations are closed, and that goes for the bars. I passed by Jack's Last Call, or Nightcap I think it's called, in the right by where the Jack is Back show is, and that one also was just, it looked like a very long wait. I'm very glad that I ate ahead of time. Moving things along, I'm just noting right now that the layout of the event, I haven't really done another house, and that's because if you take all of this area that we've covered so far, there has been no houses yet. We have to go all the way to Germany before we hit our next house. And actually behind me, we're hitting our next scare zone. So yeah, I didn't mean Germany before. The first houses you'll come up to after 3 scare zones and doing the Killarney Diner is the Oktoberfest. Whoops. Look at me being a BGW newbie. But also the other thing I wanted to point out is over here we got kind of the main Howl-O-Scream shop. The Emporium does have some stuff, but the majority of it is over here. So things kind of fork here from Fest House. One way we could go over to Nevermore, Chapter 2. Sadly, I missed on Chapter 1. And then Witch of the Woods, which is this way. This is one of the ones that I was told wait until nightfall because it's outdoors. All right, I feel like this type of walk is very unexpected, but all right, Witch of the Woods, here we go. Like, this is long enough. Maybe they should give people a heads up. Like, hey, in about a half a mile, you'll get to your destination. All right, finally in the queue. It wasn't a half mile, but it was still pretty long. This is very comparable to any of the HHN walks that you'd make to like the tent houses, but nothing like the Halloween Scarecrow one from this year at Hollywood.
Good luck.
Take a picture in my last walk.
Let's go. She can smell your fear. Hi, what are you doing?
All right, that was super quick. I think it took longer to walk out here than to get through the maze, which was that's saying something. I clocked in the walkthrough that I did clocked in at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. If you're curious, but the experience itself, it wasn't the most detailed house, but it did have a lot of scare actors, and they got me on the same exact type of scare, which is where you have one person this side of the entrance and you can clearly see them, and then you have one behind something obstructed that you can't see, and so obviously you look to that side when boom, that guy gets you. Did it about 3 times, which was nice though in a way because I haven't gotten scared tonight at all, and so it was good. It was good. Going to find a bathroom between the 2 mazes or houses or whatever they call them, and just showcasing, you know, one of the very many bar lines here. It's I don't know. I've opted to forgo that. All right, the music's blasting, but thank goodness it seems like the entrance here isn't quite the walk that Witch of the Woods was. Here's Nevermore, Chapter 2. Found somewhere where there's actual light that's not like one color or the other. Nevermore was, I didn't follow the story. Like I just couldn't. I didn't know what was going on. But that one was like, I was like, hey, not bad. A couple of really good scares, startles. Some really curious things happened. I didn't know what to make of some of them. But overall, the positioning of the scare actors wasn't really optimal for a video. but because the scares were coming from the sides for the most part, because there were a lot of those walls where they're angled out, so like there's nothing the camera's gonna see. Other than that, there were a couple of hallways that I didn't expect anything to happen, because that's how it usually goes. You get your hallway, but they had some things like dangling down, some fabric, and there were scare actors dressed in the same fabric, and I did not see that coming. That really caught my eye, caught my attention, that they were doing stuff with the hallways. They're usually, you know, just the black walls to get you to the next area. So that one might have been my favorite so far. But we got 2 more left. I haven't really updated y'all about how the ride lines are, but Verbolten here is at a 1-hour wait. Also, apparently spooky time or spooky season means play all the metal from the early 2000s. All right, this area looks really cool with all the green. It's called the Gorgon Gardens. Don't know what to expect other than maybe some Medusas.
I knew I should turn my head away. And as soon as I turned my head, I was like,
She was standing still. She tried to scare the shit out of me.
are you a poet? You good?
Well, that area was itty bitty. It could have stretched like just a little bit more. My goodness, there was like 10 scare actors in like a 20 feet stretch or 20-foot stretch. I am surprised by that because the makeup and stuff was good, and shout out to that person in the ghillie suit that was dancing their butt off. I don't believe there's any more scare zones up ahead, but for whatever reason, this area looks amazing. And the first bits of like real fog I've seen in the scare zones. Or not, this isn't even a scare zone. It's just the bridge to Italy. Now coming up on one of the party zones here. Oh, they're playing that music where the choreography is included with the song. But at least they got something going on here. That was sorely missed. Some sort of energy here. So I feel like overall the energy has been pretty low. And hopefully the line is not too long for a Dole Whip, because that would hit the spot right now. All right, never mind. That line is long. For what it is. It wasn't like long visually, but I know that takes a minute to get through all of that. But we're going up ahead to one of the newer mazes, I think, that's all the way at the end past Tempesto and Apollo Chariot. And all the way at the very end of this park, we have Death Water Bayou. And by end, I mean like, yeah, there's a loading area for that.
Shy. You guys want to dance with us? Don't be shy. Oh my guys, why aren't you dancing?
Okay. Can you wait till Lindsay gets back?
Careful!
Are we going that way or that way? Oh.
I'll keep going straight,
Yeah,
guys.
I just saw the sign on that.
Nice! I got you, guys. Nice.
Oh boy. Hey, Train wants to be in the vlog. That was weird in parts, creepy in parts, but definitely not scary. Some weird transitions. I wasn't sure. I was leading, so I wasn't sure whether or not I was going the right way. And then all of a sudden we entered like the room or one of those rooms, and there was like somebody, I guess, going on a break or talking to one of the workers that like supports all the scare actors, and like having a full-on conversation there, just standing in the middle of a run. Very confusing, but overall, like I would put it up there with Nevermore in terms of its quality. Out of curiosity, I came over this way to see what Pantheon's wait would be in the final hour of the event. 55 minutes, so this would be it. However, night rides on this, I'll put it up in the corner if I remember to, but I had a night on this that was spectacular. Unfortunately, it's not that clear of a night, but if you can get a night ride on this on a clear night, you see stars when you do all of the stalls on the top hat. Yeah, I don't think I can be bothered to wait in this line. It's going to take a while. Oh no, it looks like everybody cleared out from the little party. There is a little dance floor there. I see 3 people. Oh, this is cool. Check out this area. Shouts to these trees and whoever decided to come up with this lighting. This is probably the spookiest area I've been in the whole time. The lighting over there looks excellent. If it was in focus, there it goes. But like, dang. The sounds, the fog, everything is solid in this section. I am so confused by all the like mixed theming and stuff that like going around this entire park has been just weird. All right, my friends, here we are at the last house of the night, Inferno. Coming up to it looks awesome. I don't know what to expect, but I've heard that this one is new for this year.
Wait!
Ooh, hello.
Leaving already?
Maybe.
Look out the door. How you
Oh, nice. Very nice. Nice. Ooh, that was awesome. So good. Alright, finally had to sit here. I'm inside Ripper Row. Inferno was actually kind of aggressive, and I really liked that about it. It kind of won me over as the best, and for some reason there was no line, no wait, no quick queue or anything. It was a walk-on. I wonder if people really know what it is, or if word hasn't gotten out that there's a new maze inside Pompeii. But yeah, overall there was a lot of good scares, and I mean, you kind of know the story already going into it, which I think helped a lot. And there was one guy hanging out at the exit that got me that I just, oof. I just said, nice. That was good. That was awesome. You got me. Because I don't really yell or anything like that, especially I'm too timid when I have the camera on. So yeah, that's kind of it. They got me. All right, I switched it up to a different seat, but let's talk about the event, because number one, there are a bunch of shows and you're not likely to do them all in one night. You probably have to come back, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Unfortunately, the scheduling is very odd. There's only 2 shows, or maybe 1 for the 4 or 5 shows. There's one show that's not even on the website. It's only on the app. So yeah, very odd. It's over in France. I walked by it as it was just ending. So, but the strange thing is that they also have these shows running during the day. So just take note of that if you're coming out here. That's my advice. You can watch these shows during the day, and it won't take up some of the event time. I needed to stand up. If I sit, I'm gonna get too comfortable, and that's dangerous. So that's the shows. I wasn't too keen on any of them. I feel like that watching that Jack is Back was like the beginning of just tone being really weird, and not weird, just not consistent. So like the disco and all of that stuff in the beginning kind of threw me off. I thought we were getting into something like more sinister, whereas Monster Stomp is slasher, whatever, and then kind of more musical or theatrical than anything else. So that also felt pretty mixed. The scare zones, they felt kind of dark overall. Obviously the France one, Dead Ahead, was really good, kind of small though. I feel like that's, and the Gorgon Garden was tiny, itty bitty. I think it was like 20 feet. So like scare zones, some of them could be bigger. I feel like the meat market could have been more condensed. Meat market could have had more lighting. So could have the fairy tale one. Like just some tweaks here and there, and they would be so good. I could barely see the costumes and all the makeup these scare actors must have spent a ton of time putting on. So that was kind of a bummer. And the costumes too, like, yeah, that was a shame. So I feel like that plus their locations aren't the most ideal. I'm sure that they figured out where the traffic is, but they're all condensed in like one section of the park for the most part, whereas the mazes are all on another side of the park. Like other than the Killarney Diner, there wasn't really anything else in like that half of the park, which was surprising. But in general, I would say that maybe like 3 out of 5 were decent. Inferno was my favorite, then Nevermore, then Bloodwater Bayou, Death on the Bayou. There's so many Bayou haunts now, I'm losing it. All right, it is called Deathwater Bayou. Anyway, inconsistent as a whole. Inferno was the only aggressive one with the scares. The rest of them were kind of like eerie, spooky, just trying to get you to feel creeped out. The scare actors weren't popping out at you. They were more like, I don't know, performing? I don't know how to differentiate the different types of scares there, but there's no like boo hole for them to pop out of, so to speak. Sometimes the sets were like really well decorated, sometimes it was really sparse. I hope to see more consistency come from this in terms of the mazes. One thing also inconsistent is they call it both haunted houses and mazes, and I've seen it in signage on the app like different. But anyway, as a whole, it wasn't too bad. Not a bad event. I feel like it's way more highly rated than I expected it to be, so I feel like my expectations were much higher. Whereas this, I would say, if you're comparing the Howl-O-Screams that I've been to, which is the one in Orlando, that one has like a more consistent tone and has carried through like, we're trying to scare you. Like, it doesn't have any elements of family friendliness. It doesn't have any elements of like the different approaches to the mazes and stuff. Like, all of theirs is highly detailed. We're coming at you, like Boo Hole City, like different strategy, a different approach. But anyway, guys, I've gone on long enough about my initial thoughts and reactions here. I still need time to digest it, so I'm going to leave it here. So for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I hope you go make your own adventure. Bye.